spoke to you about it at the Empire Awards last year, and yeah, it's finally here, and very different, I think, from what anybody expected, in a very positive way.
Yeah, I suppose it is.
I don't think anyone expected. I don't think even when we were filming it, we expected this reaction, and I think it was after. I think I saw one sort of unfinished sort of version of it. It was like, this is really good. This is really good.
Well, I mean, your thoughts on it as well, if you would, the almost sort of social realism, social drama about it.
Yeah, I think it is a touching story, and Dex went out to make something that was real, a slice of life, and something that didn't romanticise or glamorise any of the themes that the film explores. And in many ways, it is quite a dark, bleak story, but it's mixed in with sort of, moments of lightness and comedy, and the fact that family is such a prominent theme as well makes it a real sort of feel-good film in many ways. And it's a film, I guess, that tells a story which is sort of, very relatable. Family's a universal theme, and I think that's why people should go see it.
And I understand that on the set you were at some points worried that your accent was a bit too posh.
I got some stick for being posh, yeah. People were worried that I wouldn't pull off the East End accent. I'm still worried I haven't, but yeah, I got a bit of stick for that. But everyone on set was pretty much East End, weren't they? So we were surrounded by it.
I'm originally from Essex, so it was quite easy to sort of go into that, my native tongue. So.
You've lost it again for the evening there. And, I mean, obviously for both of you, you're sort of younger actors compared to much of the crew, transitioning into a slightly more adult role, I would say, without meaning to sound condescending. Was that the attraction? Well, was that a reason for doing it, or was there something more?
For me, it's my first film, so just the fact that it's the first film is my pull on it. But I think maybe for you, going from a child to...
Yeah, I mean, I think for both of us, the chance to play kind of quite mature adult characters, it was like, I think the thing is for Dean and Steph, I think you'll probably agree with this, and we've both said this, that they're both adults in many senses, making, adult decisions.
And in the film, it's like the children are the adults and the adults are the children. So.
Dex went out to make a film about a boy who was a man who was a boy, and and Steph is another one of those characters that represents a kind of a kid who's sort of wise beyond their years, kind of thing.
I think certainly in the relationship of your character with Mark Warren, it's very much, there's that beautiful scene where he comes in and ruins the evening.
Yes, yeah.
It's quite funny, but I think that even that you can tell that she's had a hard life and everything, but that little moment at the door where Bill comes to the door and he's like, she's not in any trouble, is she? It's like there's still like that thing of I'm still her dad and I'm still worried about her. That's the thing in families, that the crux of it is people, they do love each other, but you always have your problems. So.
Well, congrats, guy who is, he's not your typical character in any film, really. I mean, if we were watching something by Guy Ritchie or even Matthew Vaughn where a guy's come out of prison, he's not going to come down quite as hard on his luck as Bill in this.
Well, I think there's there's an element of kitchen sink reality to it all, and we didn't shy away from that. We wanted to make a sort of genuine film about a genuine character and make him believable and kind of real, and for that reason, audiences seem to respond to it, and we responded to it, and I responded to the script, and it's a film about a dad who's has had tough luck along the way, and he's trying to make the best of a pretty bad deal and reconnect with his sons after coming out from a lengthy prison sentence, and I just think there's a lot of heart to this film, and a certain amount of charm.
And I mean,
dare say that, but he should be so bold.
Bill in the film is, he's not necessarily the nicest of guys. He doesn't always do the right thing. Quite frequently, does the wrong thing, and yet by the end of it, certainly I found myself quite fond of him. So, how did you do that, Charlie?
I know it's just the story, isn't it? And he's not a perfect person. We're all human. We're all, none of us are perfect, and I guess that makes him, like I say, real human, and he's just trying to, like I said before, trying to make the best of a pretty raw deal. And I think by the end, I watch it and I played him, and and I shot those scenes, and I find myself rooting for him towards the end of it, and getting kind of quite nervous about, you know, the last sort of big finale, and, you know, don't want to ruin it for anyone, but yeah.
And I mean, you mentioned the finale, and let's not give too much away, but I know there were 2 versions of the film shot, 2 versions of the ending shot, and there were sort of others on the table. So is this the best that you thought? Well, is this your favourite?
I think Dexter's got it all absolutely right. I mean, I just think I can't fault him. He was great on set, and the way he's put it together, the film doesn't lag. It flows nicely, and I just think he's done a cracking job. You know, he seems to be a bit of a natural at it all. I don't know, maybe 40 years in the game has rubbed off on him. You know.
Well, thank you very